Hello everyone. Out in the garage, gonna start a new project. Gonna be working on a shamisen, a Japanese instrument. I got all my stuff kind of put together, minus one little part, and I'll explain what's going on with that in a second. So here's all my pieces and tools and stuff that I'm going to be transforming into an instrument, hopefully. I have just a little unpainted trinket box. I believe I got that from Joann Fabrics for $7 and change, I think. I obviously overpaid. Then I have, courtesy of Lowe's, a 36-inch they listed 2 inches, but it's 1 3/4. Yeah, a poplar square, as well as, let me grab the bag for them and see what size those were. There we are. 3/4 by 12 inch. I'm obviously going to be hacking off quite a bit of this, but these are going to be your tuning pegs, I believe you would call them on this instrument, but they'll all kind of go like this. As you can see, I kind of doodled a bit on there. I'll give you the measurements on that in 1 second. I have a square piece of wood for the bridge that's going to go over the membrane. I have this to attach at the very base. I liked this because it has the little latch thing on it, and it didn't look like just a regular cup hook. I've got some nylon paracord, pretty run-of-the-mill stuff, but I like the color. I've got, this is an experiment here. I've got some 50-pound monofilament fishing line here. And that's going to be my strings eventually. Maybe. I've heard that works. Then I've got some furniture nails, like the little upholstery nails. And the only thing that I am currently missing is a piece of goat skin or some other material to make the membrane that is actually going to be going over this. And the bridge piece will just kind of be right in there. There's a little knot that goes on the bottom of this that holds the strings. I'll see if I can put up an image on the video, but yeah, so here's all my pieces. And right, let me get you those measurements here. I think I've got, let me see here. What was it that I measured? Yeah, see, it's only 1 3/4. But I have it at, what's it, it's 3/8 of, no, 4/8, no, yeah, 3/8 of an inch. On the inside part here, because what I'm going to be doing is drilling holes all along here, and then I'm actually going to be chiseling it out all the way through the back, and then I'm going to drill into the side of that for the peg to be inserted in. I'm going to try and on the opposite side, I'm going to try tapering it so that it'll have a nice grip instead of, just flopping around. I'm not sure how else I can do that. If you have any suggestions, on how to improve this for later viewers, let me know. But this is what I'm going to be working on right now. I'll do the next clip after I get some of the holes drilled out and, chiseling away there. Okay, so just to show you what I'm working with, I got a cheapo Harbor Freight drill with the cheapo Harbor Freight drill bit. And this is what I meant by I was going to be drilling a whole bunch of little holes. I forgot to mention this video was inspired by another gentleman who basically did this in his living room, it looked like, with hand tools, like a manual drill. And I give him a lot of credit. I've used a manual drill before. They're terrible. But yeah, so basically, like, as I chisel out here, all of these will kind of act as stops so that I don't, like, over chisel. I mean, I did kind of, I see that one right there. I did kind of I overdid my edge, but in reality, this is not a professional instrument. It is, you know, this is my first venture into making an instrument, I suppose. So this is all trial and error. If I screw up, I got to go back to Lowe's, get a new square, the poplar square, and hope for the best. But yeah, so I'm going to start chiseling and let you know how that comes out. Well, here we are, day 2. I managed to get that all cleared up before it got too dark to work out here in the garage. Now I just gotta file it down so it's nice and smooth. There we go. Files made it pretty... I mean, it's not great, but I'm gonna hit it up with some 1000 grit sandpaper afterwards anyway. Especially to smooth down the corners on the neck here and stuff. But yeah, the files work pretty good for that. Clearing out all the burrs that were kind of hanging out there. Alright, now on to making the pegs. So here's basically what I've got to do. I've got to reduce this end so that it'll go through a 3/4 inch hole I drill on that side down to a 1/2 inch hole that I drill on the other. Over here on this side. So that it'll go through the 3/4 and then it'll have the 1/2 inch that kind of gives it some tightness and holds the peg in place. So I'm gonna try doing it with the chisels and see how that goes. Well, after a little bit of monkeying around, I did get the holes drilled, and I gotta sand them down or file them, but ultimately that's what it's gonna look like, minus about probably to there, so I'll just cut them there. But I still have to reduce the ends down. But then I got an idea. I was like, what if I took like a washer or something, and, you know, obviously this would be if I did this again. What if I put like a screw through into the dowel itself to kind of apply tension at like a continuous rate? Like once it's tight against there, all you'd need is a little hole drilled right here, maybe oh my god, like that big, and you'd be able to apply a washer there and have tension all the time, as opposed to just relying on the tension of the wood on wood. But, you know, I guess you win some, you lose some. Time to try and reduce them. Well, there we go. The chisels actually worked pretty good. You just kind of do it with the same motion you would sharpen a pencil with like a knife, and yeah, it goes right in the 3/4 hole, and with a little persuasion, there we go, and it holds tension pretty nice. I got all 3 of them done up. I think next step is working on the body itself. Let's see. Oh, no, I forgot. There's a bridge that needs to go here, and that's where I'm going to take my little piece of square here. I can't even recall how big this is. Well, I got the barcode, that's helpful. But basically this is going to get shaved down and then tacked in place there. I might actually put a little bit of wood glue there just to hold it in place permanently. But that's basically the spot where the strings are going to rest, and on the body there's a second bridge. So I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with this. And with the bridge attached, it's almost starting to look like an instrument here. I'm going to go ahead and cut down these pegs a little bit to make them more manageable size, but yeah, I'll show you what that looks like in a second here. Well, I cut my pegs down to about 6 inches, and I also drilled the little hole that the string is going to be fed through once it's on the instrument itself. I realized halfway through I've been using 12-inch dowels, so because I cut them to 6 inches, I could have gotten 2 out of them. Instead of, now I have 3 little 6-inch pieces left over. Oh, well, I guess, you know what? Those are the pegs for the next time I do this. Alright, let's see what it all looks together. Now we're really starting to look like an instrument here. I think what I have to do, based on the video that I watched of a guy doing this, I need to cut essentially like there and then take the face off of this whole piece here. And then I can take a membrane material, which I did a bunch of research last night looking up like different materials people have used. There was this one forum that had a whole bunch of banjo membrane ideas, and one was like packaging tape. I saw some guy say another was essentially you tack down the edges of a like a soda bottle that you've cut and flattened out across the top. And I was like, you know what? That's cheap and inexpensive. I'm going to give that one a shot. So I haven't decided if I'm going to use the green Mountain Dew or the clear Pepsi. So we'll see what I decide as I'm cutting this out. Well, I got the hole for the neck cut out so that slides in there pretty easily. Basically, all I did was I just took the end of the neck and kind of just set it on top of there in about the center. And yeah, just traced it with a pencil and cut it out with a little saw. So now I just got to cut the face out on it so that it'll have a kind of resonation chamber. And I still haven't decided what color I'm going with yet. Well, I got it all cut out and opened up, and I ended up going with the clear. I've got it all tacked in place with the furnishing nails, and now I just got to hit it with a heat gun, and it should just make that tight as a drum. And then I'll trim the excess off on the sides, and oh yeah, I put my my hook on the bottom there so that'll hold the I hope I'm not mispronouncing it, but I think it's called a niao. It's just a type of knot that holds the individual strings so they are kind of spaced evenly all the way up. Throw the bridge on it and see how it sounds. Well, finally got it all together. Trimmed off the excess, and it's like a drum now with the heat gun. Do it on a low setting or use a hairdryer so you don't like over shrink it or melt it. I also put in a little bridge piece here, and I used a chisel to put the 3 little notches to space the cords. And I did the same up at the top of the neck. But yeah, so here's how it sounds. It's not nearly in tune. Pretty dang good sound for a box of wood and some fishing line. Oh, and can't forget the Pepsi bottle. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Now I just got to tune it and learn how to play it. But right now it sounds more like just a traditional banjo than anything. But it was a fun project, and you know, didn't really cost me a lot. I think I spent about a total of $50 on it. I mean, it kind of looks like I only spent $50 on it. The one thing I noticed already is that there's like a finger's width of space between these. So if I have to do any notes, I have to press like about ½ an inch down. Other than that, I may shorten, like trim that bridge down quite a bit and then see what that does to it. Thankfully, I didn't glue it because I was like, well, if I have to take it off, I want to be able to take it off. So, yeah, there's my project. If you have any other pointers or anything else that, you know, if you've made one of these before, let me know in the comments. And, yeah, well, I think that's about it.